And another one. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Hey, listen, it's Monday. I know a lot of people are excited about Monday. Make sure my mic is on. Okay. I know you excited about Monday. Good morning, good morning. Blessings, blessings. Salute to everybody that's in the chat. Please hit that like button. We got a few things to discuss. I had a opportunity to catch a clip of President Biden. Obviously, it was a situation with him talking about LL Cool J. I'm gonna play that real quick for those that didn't see that. Fair use. And that sounds pretty low, no? Hold on. That is super low. Like Secretary of House Government Affairs. That is super low. Great Marshall Fudge. We're joined by several other cabinet members. Tonight's awardees, I keep Jeff as a leader with integrity and courage. Courage. The care back. A visionary American does whatever she says she's going to do. Kareem Jean-Pierre, my press secretary. No wonder I'm doing okay. Justin Jones, a new voice to give us hope for the future, Justin. Two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of... I'm about to go in. Listen. LL Cool J. By the way, that boy's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's... Okay, so President Biden says that boy got bicep bigger than my thighs. And then he says, that man. Okay, so here's the thing. Let me tell you why, as an Army veteran, as a black man, I'm desensitized to it. Let me tell you why I am not outraged. I'm not pissed off. I'm not jumping out a window right now. Going, come on, I'm about to piss somebody off. Let me tell you why I'm not mad, though. Why is President Biden calling this black man boy? Why I'm not pissed off and ready to slam shit and break shit? Here is why. Because we as black people do it to each other all the time. Don't just be in here watching me. Hit that button, goddammit. We do it all the time. We are so desensitized. Oh, we can call him the N-word. I didn't hear bloggers say about white people, call them crackers, call them Karens, call them all types of names. But if he say boy, oh my God, we in an outrage. Let me tell you something. As a military veteran of 20 years, I can tell you that, of course, if the commander-in-chief is speaking like that, it definitely sends a bad light and sheds a bad light on the military itself. However, all the military ain't bad just because this guy had a slip out or a brain fart and said some shit that he shouldn't have said. Am I outraged about it? No. Am I concerned about it? Yes. And this is one of those platforms where you can be fair and impartial and kind of look at some shit and say, hold on, bro. Oh, don't call me boy. We ain't doing that. But I can also understand the thing about it is, you know what gets me is this double standard. We as black people can disrespect each other to the highest extent and then turn the other cheek as if nothing's ever happened. And that led me back to a conversation I was having last night about the Tasha K blogger or whatever case be. And I was just explaining, hey, I'm one of those people, like, I don't want to see people crash out. I don't want to see people, just do anything for clout, do anything to get their name and likes. Because I think that there's a high price to pay. And I'm going to be honest with you, Tasha K is one of those bloggers who she's paying a high price. She's paying a very high price. And then as a blogger like me, you make me say, you know what, I don't want to pay that price. So salute to you being brave enough to pay that price, but I don't want to do it. I had a lot of people in the comments and they were trying to debunk and combat what it is that I was saying, and that's cool. But here's it. I got love for Tasha K. I got love for black women. The issue is that when I see people doing destructive things as a black man, as a citizen, as a person, somebody that says, hey, look, you don't have to do that for me. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to crash out for me. Think about yourself, think about your family, think about the business, think about all the things that you've built up and the research and the time and production that you put into saying, I made this sacrifice as a black woman, as a woman, as a voice of black people. Don't crash out. That was simply my message. Now, there was a lot of people saying that, you know what, you don't understand the ins and outs of what I'm. And here's the thing: if you're in the comments like me, you don't understand. The only thing you can do is give your perspective like I give my perspective. The difference between you and I is that I am able to show my face and actually break down what it is that I'm saying, regardless of, what I'm saying, instead of just being reactive. I'm being proactive by actually having a conversation about what it is that I'm seeing. There are a lot of people crashing out trying to be famous, especially from the black community. Especially from the black community. And the overarching thing is, I was listening to a couple bloggers speak on the Tasha K incident. And I said something very, very prominent yesterday when I said that Tasha K, there's a lot of people sitting back and they don't care if you crash out or not. They're sitting in your comment section and they're rooting you on when you're doing certain things. Isn't it amazing that if a black man marries outside of his race, let's say Cardi B, for instance, he marries outside his race. He has a child and they're both successful. They're both successful. Isn't it amazing how we as a community, as black people, will turn a blind eye to another black woman totally lying on that particular family? Then go into court. Some people say, well, she didn't get in trouble for lying. And I'm like, did we watch the same damn issue? Did we not get the same damn breakdown? And this is what was crazy, because people kill me with this. Do you have the transcripts? No, I don't care to get I don't care about getting the transcripts. I say the great thing about social media is, especially when people pride themselves on burning bridges, right? You have people that sit back and they say, hey, I love this person or I hate this person. Normally the people that hate that person, they're going to have all the transcripts. They're going to have all the details. So you sit back as a balanced individual, an individual that promotes being fair and impartial, and you sit back and you listen. Okay, let me check out these transcripts and see what they're actually saying, or listen to them, read them. You know what's so funny? Anyone who says that the matter between Cardi B and Tasha K was not about her lying about an STD, that is false. That is a lie. That is a lie. And the fact of the matter is, and this is why I say don't crash out for people in your comments. At what point in time do you say, hey, we had enough jokes and giggles at her, at her expense. We might be taking this thing too far. So when you only got people around you that are yes men and that are applauding you when you're ready to crash out, and that's what happens in our communities a lot. And I see it clear as day on social media. You'll have more people applauding you for doing something negative than doing something positive. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Don't just watch me. Hit the like button. We got some stuff to talk about. You have more people applauding you for doing something. Case in point. A black woman at the grocery store gets into it with a white man. She curses them out, calls them all types of names. We applauding. And then we find out later on, well, she literally bumped into him with a cart, and he was like, hey, watch where you're going. Who you talking to? Who you see? That's and goes off. It goes viral. And the first thing we do as black people is say, well, you ain't gonna talk to our black sister like that. We quick to jump the gun. We quick to jump out there, especially when we try to make it a black against white thing. And that's what was so crazy about it, because it was like, so we sit online all day and we applaud black men and women going at each other's throats. These same people that sit down and say Joe Biden, how dare he say boy, will sit down and watch Cynthia G call black men dusties, watch this other black guy call these black women this, and have no problems with it. Will not be in an uproar. But you let the president of the United States say, boy, oh my God, we in an outrage. How do you feel about it, tough love? Well, I feel the same way I feel when I see black men and black women going at it. know this thing ain't just cut off for me. People want to call me now. What the hell? But what I'm saying is keep the same energy. Grand risings, grand risings. Keep the same energy. If you don't want to hear white people talk about black people, why is it okay for black people to talk about black people? I don't get it. I personally don't understand it. I don't get the I don't see this and I don't hear this. It's okay for us to disrespect each other over here, but don't let Karen say it. Don't let this person say it. And it's like, to me, it's an oxymoron. So no, I don't feel that, I'm about to sit down and condemn the president of the United States for saying boy. What did he say this time? Well, if you guys missed it, President Biden was actually giving an award speech, and he was giving LL Cool J. He basically mentioned him, and I guess he got his name confused or mixed up or whatever. And he basically said that boy's arms is bigger than my thighs. And you know how some people from the country, whatever case be, I mean, some people know, but if you've been around certain people with certain dialect, that's like me saying, oh, that's my Nick, that's my, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, that boy over there crazy as hell. So he basically said it in that regard to me. I didn't feel like it was a big racial, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? I felt like he was just talking in general. I felt like he was just talking in general. But again, like I said, when we have platforms and we get on platforms, oh, he said boy. Yeah, he said boy. He said that boy's arm is bigger than my thighs. And of course it was like this, he's racist, he's this, he's that. And I'm not here to defend if he's racist or if he's not racist. What I'm saying is I could see how people would take offense to that. But it's funny to me that a lot of the people that would take offense to that won't take offense to hearing a black man bash black women, a black woman bash black men on a daily basis. They will say nothing about it. They will say nothing about it. They will turn the other cheek. They will donate. They will applaud. They will like. They will share. They will comment. And that's why I wish that America would stop the F. Just stop the F stuff. Seriously, I wish that we could be held responsible for the things that we actually said. And that's why I said I love the fact that Tasha K is really leading the charge. I love it. I'm about to piss somebody off. I love it. You will be held responsible for what you say. If it's true, cool. If it's not, you will be held responsible. And the thing about it is, like I said, I see these people and they cheer for the most negative stuff. They applaud the most negative stuff. Right, exactly. That's just some things that country people say. Come on now, y'all. Hey, that boy over there crazy as hell. That boy, he out his mind. I don't feel like it was plus he's a real old guy, so I don't feel like it was like it was just so racially driven. I feel like that was just what he said. But again, being the president of the United States, being the commander in chief, of course you would expect, for someone not to forget where they are. You know what I'm saying? To understand that, you have a lot of eyes on you, so you can't afford those mistakes. And that's the same thing I was telling Tasha K. You got a lot of eyes on you. You got a lot of eyes on you. And now mentioning that right there, that statement, because like I said, it was a couple people in the comment section from my last video, and they was like, hey, you got it messed up, you got it wrong about Tasha K. And I was like, no, I think I got it absolutely correct. Joe Budden, regardless if he got paid, regardless if the lawyer advised him, regardless if he didn't want to ruin a friendship, he decided not to drop an interview with the woman that just lost a case for $4 million. Now, let me ask you a question. You do an interview that lasts 3 hours long, right? If you think any questions about Cardi B did not come up, you are foolish. You are foolish. And the thing about it is, when you're going 100 miles an hour and you don't realize that the things that you were saying or the things that you're doing, they're more harmful than good. You wanted Joe Budden to crash out his platform to give you a platform so that way you could get back at Cardi B. Let me just be real. If you are a Tasha K fan, I need you to sit back, grab your popcorn, grab your wine, and I need you to hear where I'm coming from. Think about it. You made this a black man and black woman united black media, and we're, you fake for that. You fake, and I'm just like, who's signing up to crash out? Who's signing up to crash out? You think this celebrity who has a relationship or a rapport with Cardi B is going to allow you to come on his platform, disrespect Cardi B, and it's supposed to be all good? Like, to me, that logic ain't even there. It don't even make sense. And then for the people that support that, it's like, well, no, Joe, you wrong. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. When is enough enough? I hear you, Jenny. I hear you. I'm just saying, it just feels like to me that D. Smith, good morning. Good morning. I appreciate you speaking, D. Smith. Here we go. She was not trying to get back at Cardi B. They asked the questions. She answered. Here's the thing. Good morning. Here's the thing. All right, because I was reading the comments throughout the night or whatever case to be, and I said, you know what? Do I even want to touch back on this situation or whatever? And of course, this Joe Biden situation came up, and I was seeing people in the comments saying, how dare he disrespect X, Y, and Z, yada 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 yada. Right, and some of these were content creators or whatever. So I wanted to hear some of these people's responses to the situation. So I went to their page and I was listening, and it was like. This is what's so funny, and this is what made me do it. This is what made me do this. It'll be people saying Joe, the president response, saying boy was wrong. But under that same thing would be Tasha K goes off on Joe Budden. Let me ask you something, D. Smith. Let me ask you something. Was it ever proven that Tasha K lied on Cardi B about anything? I just want to ask some general questions right now so we can set the azimuth and the tone. Jenny said, here we go. Was it ever proven? Because this is what I know. I know that in a court of law, there is a difference between YouTube justice, right, and judicial justice, right? We are, for some reason, we fall under this plank of YouTube justice. Depending on how many subscribers you got, depending on if people like you or not, depending on how loud you are, depending on how many curse words you use, that's the person who won. That's not how it works in a court of law. You don't have to just listen this time. You don't have to listen, but that's the way a lot of us are on YouTube for some, especially in I guess in these other me personally, I just feel like I'm a YouTuber, but I feel like in some of these sectors, it's like depending on how loud you are, how many subscribers you got, how much vulgar language you use, that's the person who won the argument. And to be honest with you, that's not the way it works in the court. So when you outline the details and you break it down, it's like either you guilty or you innocent. Now, had some people saying, well, she never said she was guilty. She never said she lied. And I'm like, you sure? Because that's $4 million. That's a hell of a lot more than you just being in your feelings. And somebody said, well, she got awarded that because she wouldn't take down videos. Well, then there's an ego problem. There's an ego problem. And to me, that's a part of I'm back. That's a part of crashing out, having an ego problem. When you don't know, hey, enough's enough. My thing about it is if you have a celebrity, anybody, a regular person, you or I, we say, hey, look, what you're reporting is false. Please take it down. It shouldn't even be a question. It shouldn't even be well, let me tiptoe around this. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why I'm talking about when I say crash out. Is it really necessary? And I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I don't see asking a real stern video saying, is it worth it? She went beyond cruel and unusual punishment. And then somebody said, you know, is $4 million a little steep? $4 million is very steep. $1 million would have been steep. But the thing about it is, why would you? I want you to think about this. Because a lot of us can't even fathom that. That's the problem. We can't fathom it because we're in the comments rooting for the people that we like. And what you don't understand is these people now have to come over that damn deficit now. It's like, okay, well, I owe this lady $4 million. I'm going to go on a friend of hers podcast and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk about her some more. Regardless of whatever, because I mean, you're talking about her, regardless if you're answering questions, you're talking about her. So you or I are not privy to this. But here's the thing. Would you want to talk about Cardi B? No disrespect. Would you want to, if I owe you $4 million, would you want to continuously talk about the situation? Somebody in their right mind. I'm just being real. And that's why I don't understand how all of these Tasha K fans sit back and say it was smart for you to go on her friend who is a celebrity's channel to do an interview that would encompass questions about Cardi B. That's not smart. That's just not smart. I don't care how you look at it. We can listen, everybody that I've heard, well, except for the people that really don't like Tasha K, but I don't have that issue. But most people that I hear talking about Tasha K, everybody is giving Tasha K her flowers for researchability, for production quality, for being a strong black woman. But for some reason, when you don't agree with people's actions, I'm about to piss somebody off. All hell breaks loose. You don't know what you're talking about. You hate women. You hate black women. You don't support the black community. You a coon. Like, it's all these other things. And all I want to say is shut the hell up. Let's have a real conversation. That shit don't make sense. That's like your son or your daughter goes out there and they get a DUI. They get a DUI. Then they go back out there and instead of getting an Uber driver, they keep on testing the water. Jenny says she has 4 million reasons to never talk about her again. I wouldn't listen. I wouldn't even, from now on, any word that Cardi, canary, cockatoo, whatever, I wouldn't say anything with C's in it. I wouldn't even look at that way. But it's like we sit down and then we make this a situation, and that's why I kind of looked at a situation when I looked at somebody's podcast, and I'm gonna play it right now. It says Joe Budden responds to Tasha K, explains why he couldn't drop the thing, and I want you guys to hear what Joe Budden said.
It would be foolish of me to just put out an interview with the girl that just got sued and lost for $4 million.
Girl, really? Now we finally got Joe Budden responding to all the backlash, Tasha K, and anybody else who has a problem with him not releasing that interview with Tasha. Now everybody thinks it's because of Cardi being Offset, but if you ask me, I think it's more about Cardi than him being scared of Offset. Y'all know he's from New York. Cardi is from New York. They have a good relationship.
I said this yesterday. I said, there is a difference between being a celebrity versus being a celebrity YouTube blogger. There's a difference. Your reach is bigger. You know what I'm saying? The people you call is different. You know, and this is no knock to Tasha K, but to think that, well, you're going to combat Joe Budden or want Joe Budden to go against another celebrity on your behalf, to me, is not realistic. And then we make it to this point where it's not black men wanting to protect black women or wanting to join forces with black media against X, Y, and Z. And that's not what it is. What it is someone saying, I'm not about to crash out with you. I'm not about to jump off this cliff with you. And whatever questions I ask you, you got to think about it. And I want you guys to understand this. You got to think about this. If I sit down with Joe Budden and I talk about Cardi B, whatever questions he asks, you really think Tasha K ain't going to go in? You really think she ain't going to, oh, I'm just going to answer these civilized, I ain't going to say nothing extra? No. And at this point in time, you got to think, this case wasn't overnight. This case wasn't a one-day situation. Everything that you have to say about Cardi B should have already been explained and already outlined. What questions could Joe Budden possibly ask you about Cardi B that you would be so willing to have a conversation about? You could talk about your upcoming show in Miami. I believe it's Miami or Florida or something like that. You could talk about your skits. You could talk about all these other things. You don't think that that's kind of weird that you would go on to a celebrity's platform to talk about a friend of his and he was supposed to sit back and say, yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to crash out with you. I want y'all to listen to what Joe Budden says about his lawyers and the reason why he says, you know what, he didn't think that it was smart to release this.
But let's see what Joe had to say about this, all right?
Just to clear up for the community, some people are, just worried about why you chose her in general. Can you just explain why might you had respected her work at one time?
So you talking about Shorty Doo-Wop?
Yes, indeed.
And keep in mind that we said at one time. That does this statement that he says has no reflection on how he may feel now.
No, listen.
And
the girl's work ethic is her work ethic. Like, and she has it. If anybody take that away from her, I wanted to learn more about her. Clearly negligence on my part with that old.
You can't tell me that. Listen, he says clearly negligence on my part, taking ownership that, hey, I probably jumped out the window. Tasha K name was kind of buzzing. Somebody said it would be cool to interview her. So he interviews her. Cool, great. It wasn't, oh, I got to interview this black woman because of X. No, it's like, hey, she kind of piqued my interest, so I reached out to her to have a conversation. Cool, right? In his response to Tasha K, he never says, I had you lost $4 million. I had you owe Cardi B $4 million. I had you lied, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What he says is, clearly I was negligent in my decision to bring you on my platform. Something to think about.
Her, Cardi, they both seem to be entirely too passionate about whatever occurred.
Shut up, Joe. They both seem, he didn't say just Tasha K. Y'all about to be pissed off at me. He didn't say just Cardi B. He said they both seem way too passionate. This is the man that just interviewed Tasha K. He probably talking to Cardi on the phone like X, Y, and Z. She seemed passionate. She probably saying some shit she don't want to, to get out there. You interview her for 3 hours. She's probably saying some shit where it just seems way too passionate. Oh, hey, I don't know if you want me to release this shit. You might feel like you want me to release it. And see, that's the difference between being emotional and factual. That's the difference. You ever have them emotional, and I ain't just talking about women. I'm just saying people that's just so emotional and passionate, like, I'm going to do this regardless. I don't care. And can't see the bigger picture. I don't think Tasha K can see the bigger picture. I don't think she put two and two together. She thought the celebrity Joe Budden was going to go against the celebrity Cardi B. When they had a relationship in reference to being both celebrities from the same neighborhood or same city or state, I'm going to go against Cardi B. Well, here's the thing. As of right now, he hasn't went against Tasha K. He just said, hey, I ain't going to release it right now. But Tasha K didn't like the fact that he didn't release it right now, and she did some things that I'm gonna be honest with you, quite frankly, I don't agree with. I don't agree with. But I'm gonna let this play out.
Regular interview to go down. But the interview wasn't coming out not because of Cardi. Like I already told her, that interview was a problem legally, financially, and algorithmically.
Legally, financially, and algorithmically. Now I don't know why I don't know why it would be a problem with YouTube. Well, here's the thing. I don't think you guys understand the impact on Tasha K and Cardi B's lawsuit and how it affected how content creators report content. Like it was guidelines and standards that now came about that says, oh, if you do X, Y, and Z, we're going to delete your channel. You can't get it back. I don't think you guys know the impact. It wasn't just it impacted Tasha K. It impacted the entire YouTube community for all content creators. So all of this, you know, she got lawyers and she got this and she got cool, good for her. But the average content creator, they don't have lawyers. And it's a lot of people, and I'm gonna play a content creator too. It's a lot of people who followed that Tasha K narrative. Well, I'm just gonna put things out there. And the next thing they had to do was take a lot of videos down because guess what? Not only are the people they're lying on or talking about holding them responsible, but YouTube is now taking it more serious.
There was a lot going on in that interview. It would be foolish of me to just put out an interview with the girl that just got.
Ladies and gentlemen, there was a lot going on in that interview. What could have possibly been going on in that interview that would make Joe Budden feel uncomfortable about releasing it? Just because it's okay with you to watch Tasha K lose another $4 million don't mean he want to lose $4 million. Whoa, what you say, Ron? It says, it must have been really bad. The interviewer said that the interview with the interviewee, it was a lot going on. What could have been stated inside that interview that was deemed so bad or would have been so controversial that he said, I don't want to have no parts of that. I ain't crashing out just to give you a platform so you can go at another celebrity. How is that Joe Budden's fault? And to be honest with you, to be truthful with you, it's almost like it's almost like instead of you just going live and saying, all right, winos, all y'all come in here, I got some stuff to say. She wanted somebody else to ask her the questions as if they were going to be responsible. It was going to make her not responsible because they asked her the questions and she was in the interview. That's not how things work. It says she probably alleged some more private things at the wrong place. Can anybody understand this concept? Like, why would you even go anywhere to talk about Cardi B at this point in time? And the people that's arguing in the comments on her behalf, I don't quite get it because I'm just like, well, obviously she was found guilty of something. If you say, oh, it never was proven that she lied. I don't care if it was proven that she spelled Cardi B's name wrong in the title. Now she got to pay $4 million. I want to say this. If you cost me $4 million, do you really think I want to run around and talk about it? Do you really think I want to go over here and interview about it? Can somebody tell me why that would make sense? Why would you go to somebody you deliberately know is cool with the person that just cost your family, business, and brand $4 million? Somebody said she made them say they're winos. D. Smith said, can I have your Instagram? It's Tough Love Podcast 1. I just don't get the logic in that. Like I don't see why I would sit down with somebody for 3 hours and talk about, because people do interviews all the time and say, hey, look, I don't want to talk about this. This is off limits. This is off limits. And you know you already passionate. You know, maybe you might be drinking, you might not be drinking, I don't know, but you're letting the conversation flow. And see, here's the thing. It's good ratings for him. You got to think about it. It's good ratings for Joe Budden. It's good ratings for Joe Budden to release the interview. But then you got to think about it. I'm like, well, so Tasha don't get further in trouble. Because a lot of people say, well, he didn't do her a favor by not releasing it. He got paid to not release it. But he just, and this is what's so crazy to me, is Tasha K can have lawyers that advise her, but Joe Budden can't have lawyers that advise him when his podcast is probably the #1 podcast for black media in reference to hip hop. So I'm just like, well, how come his lawyers can't advise him to do stuff, but Tasha K lawyers can? It just doesn't seem fair. It just doesn't seem balanced. Let's finish hearing what he has to say.
Sued and lost for $4 million without checking this. So all of this other just happened to happen while my lawyers was looking at this. So, I mean, listen, you play with pigs, you get mud on you. I don't have nothing to say.
All right. You play with pigs, you get mud on you. And wasn't that the same thing I said about Adam 22 yesterday, defending Tasha? If y'all didn't see that video, go check it out. But
you're exactly right. I wouldn't release anything either without my legal team reviewing it. So obviously what happened was he reached out to Tasha K. They set up everything, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then what happened was, you know what I'm saying, his legal team reviewed it. Probably in the midst of that, like he said, a lot of other things was happening. He was getting phone calls, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you got to ask yourself, salute, Selena, salute. You got to ask yourself, what's worth it at this point? You know what I'm saying? Is slandering someone's name, is saying that they have an STD, is talking about their family. Like, you got to ask yourself, man, when does clout chasing go wrong? How much money do you lose before you say, hey, enough of that? And I don't care about the facade that people put on trying to act like, hey, I'm good to go. I'm legit. Bro, listen, I know somebody who went to the casino and lost $2,000. They was distraught for weeks. You lose $4 million. I don't care what smile you put on, how many wine glasses you hold up. That shit is not cute or funny. So we can portray that if we want to, but if I would say that if you really cared about Tasha K, like a lot of people say, I care about Tasha K, I respect Tasha K, then why are you not telling her, leave Cardi B alone? The conversation is not worth it. Whatever you have to say, you should have said either in the courtroom or say it in your public apology, et cetera, et cetera. Right now, your side of the story don't matter. Let's get deep. Let's get deep. Salute, Texas T. Let's get deep. Your side of the story don't matter. It didn't matter to the judge. It didn't matter to the prosecutor. Shit, if it was a jury involved, it didn't matter to the jury. It didn't matter. And what's so funny is, and you go back to the President Biden saying, you know, boy to LL Cool J. Salute, salute, Ed, salute. If it mattered so much to call him boy, if it matters to us as black people to say, hey, yo, bro, you white, you can't be calling us boy, you can't be, you know, belittling us, you can't be disrespecting us, we ain't having it as a black community. We ain't taking that shit. You got us twisted. We don't play that. BLM, Black Lives Matter. And as soon as we turn our attention from him, from President Biden, talking about LL Cool J, we then turn to a situation like Tasha K, where she's allowed to disrespect black men, she's allowed to disrespect black women. Cynthia G, this male content creator, we're allowed to disrespect one another, and ain't no protest to stop shit. Hold on one second, I'm gonna read that all that comment. But ain't no protest to stop it. We cheer for it. We watch our black men and women, our brothers and sisters, crash out crash out on a daily basis. As soon as someone says exposing Derrick Jackson, tuning in. Exposing Kevin Samuels, tuning in. Exposing Kwame Brown, tuning in. Exposing Cynthia G, tuning in. Exposing Tasha K, tuning in. We do more disrespect to one another than any other race. Any other race. We go above and beyond. I know y'all ain't gonna hit no like button for this, but if I was exposing somebody, you would. This is why I'm desensitized when it comes to, he called him boy. And then you look at the context and his body language. It was like, it could have been some innuendos there. But really, I mean, he a Southern guy. I understand. I've been around a lot of Southern people. And it's like, that boy over there crazy. That boy over there ride that horse. That boy over there got that truck. This is how they talk. Just like when we say, oh, man, that's my nigga. That's my nigga. That's my... So let me get it straight. Boy is worse than telling somebody they got an STD and when they ask you to stop, you don't stop. They ask you to take the videos down. You don't take the videos down. And you pride your way all the way into a courtroom. You pride your way all the way into a $4 million lawsuit. I don't care if you got 60 million people in your chat telling you, you go, girl. You're not doing this for black people. I'm tired. I'm about to piss somebody off. Stop saying it. We doing this for the black race. We doing this for black men. We doing this for black women. No, we doing this for clout. We doing this to wage war against anybody else to support our narrative. To be honest with you, you went after a celebrity that decided enough's enough. That's really what it boils down to. You exactly right, Rob. At some point, you got to apologize and don't repeat the mistake. Going on Joe Budden's podcast, talking about Cardi B at any point in time would have been a mistake. Would have been a mistake. And if this guy says, listen, we are antagonizing the situation. This is what Joe Budden is saying. We're antagonizing the situation. And to be honest with you, this is not a good look for you, Tasha. Even though you want me to run and promote this, this is not a good look for you. And I've already talked to Cardi B. I've already talked to my lawyers. And I'm telling you right now, this may cause you more harm than good. And nobody in the history of NIM can sit back and say, it's good that she goes on other platforms that are bigger than hers or equivalent and still continuously talks about Cardi B. These people want you to crash out. They want you to crash out. I'm telling you, they want you to crash out. They don't care. And all that cheering, I think the thing about it is you ask yourself, because it really depends on how you grow up, what your mental is, and what you understand things to be.
Tasha K is in a spot where if I was any of these media people, I would not be trusting her, because I hate to say she's desperate, because she has built something for herself that is truly incredible. I'll just be honest with y'all. And the fact that she still has a loyal fan base, I salute her. But when your back is against the wall, you are willing to turn on anybody. And I feel like that's the spot where Tasha K is at right now. Okay, everything is cool now, but
D. Smith, I'm reading your comment. I'm gonna read D. Smith's comment. D. Smith comment. She's been very vocal about Tasha K and other things, but I'm gonna read this real quick. D. Smith says Tasha does what she wants to do. We have told her. I'm thinking the winos, her supporters. She said on Sunday that she wasn't going to talk about her no more unless someone asked her in an interview. Can I be honest with you guys? You picked Joe Budden because you knew her relationship with Cardi B. You knew that he was a celebrity. You knew that once you went on there, that people would be tuning in. That's one. Two, nobody Nobody wants to talk to Tasha K about anything else except Cardi B. He even said it himself that the conversation we was having, if we let that out, it's definitely gonna shake some things up. You damn right, because guess what? The only thing that would shake things up is you actually saying something about Cardi B. It wouldn't matter if someone asks you. It doesn't. Let me say this to you. Joe Budden doesn't get in trouble for asking Tasha K about Cardi B. But would Cardi B get in trouble? I'm sorry, would Tasha K get in trouble for talking about Cardi B? And at this point in time, if you're a follower of Tasha K, what could you actually be? I believe that. She's too prideful. And it's great to be prideful. It's great to feel like, hey, this is me, this is my brand, this is my, my family, I'm protecting, etc. But here's the thing, when you make it about black women versus everybody, right? And then this black man who decides, hey, look, I'm not gonna be your scapegoat. I'm not gonna be your assailant or accomplice in continuously regurgitating and aggravating this situation. If you're smart enough to bow out and say, you know what, I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do, and I'm not doing it. Tasha K then gets mad and verbally attacks Joe Budden and starts talking about all of his past, but you knew about his past before you agreed to interview with him. But because he wouldn't release an interview when you wanted to, you decided that you want to burn a bridge. And this is what I'm talking about, crashing out. This is what I'm talking about, crashing out. And this is what I'm saying. And D. Smith is honestly telling me, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? We told her. Well, if you told her, we're saying it kind of sort of the same thing. Don't crash out. That's my message. Don't crash out. You're doing what you want to do, but I'm telling you, everybody's not going to see it the way Tasha K sees it. Everybody's not going to say, Black pride, we need to stick together. No. Because everybody don't have 4 million to just give up, to just allocate to somebody because this interview means the world. This 3-hour interview means I need to crash out. I appreciate that, man. Y'all don't forget to hit that like button. Mr. Bomb Cherry says Tasha K has displaced anger. She's really angry with Cardi B for suing her. Her rant was anger, and she was for, yeah. But see, this is the thing, and that's why I said if you had more content creators saying, "Hey, look, Tasha, you obviously have a future in entertainment in reference to mainstream. You do. I can see it, right? But if you keep on down this road, these bridges that you burning and the things that you're doing, you can't expect black women to rally behind you. And they say hurt people, but hurt people rally hurt people. Can you imagine a bunch of women in the chat? Yeah, you do it. What she did to Joe Budden was totally wrong and disrespectful. You had all of that information about whatever domestic issues he had before you went to his podcast. And whatever those black women said about Joe Budden, you didn't care nothing about it because it was all about you going on that platform telling your story. But then when the platform didn't do what you wanted it to do, now all of a sudden, let's talk about the host. And that's wrong. That's wrong. And that's how we wedge ourselves against each other. And we pull on the heartstring. You see black women, how black men do? Oh, by the way, they said some negative stuff about them, which I'm going to regurgitate. I never investigated it, but I'm going to regurgitate it now. So let me get this straight. Joe Budden doesn't have the right to say, I'm not going to release an interview, but you have the right to now promote slander against him or now say, I'm going to talk about all the bad stuff against you. Well, he didn't go anywhere and talk about any bad stuff against Tasha K. He gave her props, as many people do. But that's not good enough. And that's why I said, don't crash out. Don't crash out. Things are not probably gonna go your way because you hot right now. You hot right now. Like, oh, I got to do this in moderation. I can't just jump in the situation. Let's finish this.
But the minute she feels like it's you or her, she's always going to choose herself over everybody and anything, in my opinion. Because she's already being pinned against the wall with this lawsuit, her financial situation, all of that. I'm watching the Adam 22 interview. She's still talking about, I couldn't afford a good lawyer. You can't afford a good lawyer when all of those Cardi B videos was doing millions of views.
And see, this is what I don't understand. And this is what I mean. You're going to have people in your comments, and you probably have people like D. Smith saying, hey, look, Tasha, chill out. Chill out, Tasha. And then you're going to have other people saying, you get her. Black pride, BLM, all this other crazy shit when it has nothing to do with that. That had nothing to do with black pride. That had nothing to do with black women. That was clout chasing at its finest that went wrong, that went left. Salute, Ryder. That's what that was. And then when it backfired, it's like, okay, well, how can I get this money up? Okay, let's start doing some shows. Okay, we'll do Miami. We'll do this skits. We'll start getting this money. We ain't gonna do the GoFundMe, because if we do the GoFundMe, people gonna clown about the GoFundMe. So we'll start doing these shows and get this money up. Okay, cool. You thinking your way through it, great. But don't try to lead black women down this road as if you did something so upstanding. This ain't a black woman thing. This ain't a black people thing. Don't go against black men because I don't want to crash out with you. Hell no. That's your ego and your pride overtaking common sense. Your ego and pride overtaking common sense. Why would Joe Budden release an interview with you steadily talking about Cardi B when he knows you just lost a lawsuit with Cardi B? Here's the thing. Does it say she can continue to speak about Cardi B and Offset situation? From my understanding, based on what somebody sent me, she not allowed to talk about them. Especially not on her platform. But here's the thing, even if there was no court order to say that you can't talk about them, why would you? Why would you? I wouldn't. I don't know. Why would you? Because right now you realize that that's what's making you relevant. That's what's making you hot. But everybody is saying, hey, she has great work ethic. She has great potential, great production value. There's so many things that you could do, but it's like when you have people cheering for you, and that's what happens when you don't have a lot of people cheering for you when you grow up. You don't have a good support system when you're growing up. Because it's like when you find something, no matter if it's good or it's bad, it's like you stick with it till the end. Like I know if I talk shit and I start cursing people out, people are going to tune in. Now, even though I realize that I'm coming up to this cliff, but I'm going to keep on going because people are still tuning in and cheering. And as soon as you jump your ass off the cliff, they're going to do just like this. On to the next one. Tasha K, let me send you a message. If you would have got locked up and put in jail for what happened between you and Cardi B, I'm going to be totally honest with you. These people that applauded you, that donated to you, that cheered for you, they would be nowhere around that jail. They would go on with their life. And when we talk about black women and society and jail and all this other stuff, whatever, what a waste of talent would have been. D. Smith says Tasha took the video down. We all know that she took the video down after a while. It wasn't immediate. It wasn't like 48 hours later. We know that's a fact. She took those videos and it was more than one. So we know that didn't happen right away. Tasha's husband told her that she did not need to go to an interview with Joe, but she did it anyway. D. Smith, you are doing a great job at showcasing how balanced this platform is. And I'm going to tell you why, right? Because we haven't disrespected anybody, but I'm going to tell you why. I'm making a video basically stating we get upset when a white man says something to a black man, or a white lady says something to a black lady, and we in an uproar, right? But we don't hold accountability for when we as black people disrespect others. If your husband is saying, hey, look, don't go do that, don't do it, and you still go do it, you got to say, what's driving you to still go do that? What's driving you? And instead of keeping Joe Budden as an ally, when he doesn't release the video, you then run, because at first it was about black women, right? Yeah, black women. We speaking up for black women. Then it was about black media. Yeah. And as soon as Joe Budden, who was a black man that represents black media, didn't do what you want him to do, the split second he didn't do it, you turned on him and tried to embarrass him. That's scary. That's scary. So when you got content creators like, bro, that is something deep and malicious going on here. I was listening to Armand Wiggins, and he was kind of breaking down some things or whatever. And as I sat back, I was like, man, I could kind of see that. And if you're willing to burn bridges like that, then it's like you were just big up in them. And then you split second turn and now you bash them. And it's just crazy.
You can't afford to get you a lawyer with a $50,000 retainer? I'm just saying. But she's acting like she ain't got no money. For who? For Cardi B and them lawyers. So she's still trying to play the game while protecting herself. And
well, I think right now the only thing that Tasha K is protecting is her image. You know, she if you want to be known as the person that's going to bring you the tea or the dirt or whatever case may be, it's like, no matter if I got caught up, however I got caught up, I'm still that number one person. I'm still that go-to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And she's been proven to be credible in that sense. However, when you say, in order to spice the story up, I'm going to say X, Y, and Z, that's when you lose that credibility. And if there are other outlets that say, you know what, I don't want that type of controversy on my platform, because people are going to hold me responsible, and you can't get upset with anybody. That's why I don't understand. It's like you'll sit there and listen to her curse Joe Buttons out for not releasing maybe a damaging interview. And nobody in the here's the thing, nobody in the comments knows what the fuck that interview said. Stop it. Period. Stop it. Okay? Stop it. You're not privy. You're not a celebrity. Stop it. Right? You only can take what Joe Budden has said and what Tasha K has said and say, well, somewhere in the middle is truth. And that's why I said, whether you like it or not, Joe Budden might have saved Tasha K. Oh, he didn't save me. I don't know. Because could there be something damaging in that interview where if it came out, even though you'll get more views, would it lead to another lawsuit? Hell, you talked for 3 hours. Did you say something else about somebody else? So it's just surprising to me that people didn't think that interview was going to be so grand, because someone asked you questions about someone who sued you and you lost. That mitigates you from responsibility. That's not how it works. Like, y'all, like, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You can set the premise, because here's the thing. Did she say in any of her posts or whatever that she said talking about Cardi B, her family, her career, her music, etc. is off limits? I didn't see one thing where she said that. I didn't see one thing. So you went there knowing full well that that conversation at some point in time was going to go in that direction. And it went in that direction. D. Smith says, my point is she is still going to do and say what she wants. And she will again. And good for her. You do what they say, don't cash a check that your ass can't like, cash. Listen, let me tell you something. Ladies and gentlemen, we all grown. We all going to do what it is that we want to do. We're going to do what we want to do. That's fine. But it has to be some type of somebody talking about balance. And that's what we're talking about here. If you're a content creator and you're looking at this, well, she only had to pay $4 million. I'm going to follow in her footsteps. And see, here's the thing. What people start to think is, well, I don't have to do a celebrity. I'll just do another YouTuber and say that YouTuber got an STD. You understand what I'm saying? Where I'm coming from? I don't have to reach for the stars. I'll just reach laterally. And I'll say these things about them that are not true, or I'll kind of spice things up or whatever. And what has happened is YouTube, it says, no the hell you won't. No, you won't. Don't let us get wind of it. No the hell you won't. That's where that balanced conversation comes in to bring it, to dumb it down so you understand, like, bruh, that right there is probably the epitome of what not to do. But if you're doing it at your level, you might want to rethink it, because you might not have $4 million. But if somebody hits you with 40 grand, 40K, hell, for some people, $400. Is it worth it? When clout chasing goes wrong, 101. Then people are burning bridges, real life bridges. Joe Budden, to me, definitely represents that gateway between YouTube star and celebrity status. A great way to break through. And here's the thing. I think Tasha K is too smart to play dumb. Too smart to play dumb. If you did not outline that when you were going on Joe Budden's podcast to do the interview, I am not going on there to talk about Cardi B. You should have put that out front. But that's not. Let me tell you something. Some people want to jab you and hide their hand. Some people want to jab you and hide their hand, right? I know when I go on Joe Budden's podcast, he's going to ask me about Cardi B. This is my chance to jab a little bit. This is my chance to jab a little bit, because he asked me the question versus making a public statement saying, I will be going on an interview and I will be discussing my upcoming events. I will be discussing the direction of my business. I will be talking about upcoming interviews, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Why wasn't that the premise of the conversation instead of a free-for-all? I'm telling you right now, anybody that follows Tasha K, the premise of working hard, the premise of getting to the bottom of stories, the premise of production quality, the premise of being courageous and able to speak to a crowd of people and hold people's attention, the premise of providing, comedy, that is awesome. That's great. But when you start lying on people and you start bending the truth or adding your narrative to elevate you, that's the problem. And you got to understand that most people want that level of clout, that celebrity status. And the thing about it is they're selling their soul. They're doing all of these things that really don't equate to shit. It don't equate to shit. So if you can't have a content creator such as myself saying, look, bro, we need to be balanced. We need to be fair and partial with the conversation. And we need to also say, hey, look, wrong is wrong and right is right. I think that her burning bridges with Joe Budden because he didn't release the video when she wanted to. When she said so, I think it was wrong. I think it was wrong to try to bring up his past that you already knew about, but you went onto his platform. So it wasn't a black girl's thing, a black woman's thing. And it kills me when content creators, they start pulling on the heartstrings of black men to rally all black men, you know what I'm saying, to pull on their heartstrings and say, oh, look at these black women. Then black women be like, oh, well, let me pull on your heartstrings because they know what to say. Oh, look at these black men. And I'm just tired of that shit. To be honest with you, I'm tired of that shit. That shit is sickening. That shit is sickening. So the same energy you want to keep for the president of the United States saying, boy, the LL Cool J. And really, it wasn't even in a racial tone at all. Because if you know anything about Southern people, that's how they talk. So it wasn't a racial situation. But you can look at it and say, well, I'm kind of concerned. Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm more concerned about black men and women going at each other, hurting one another, disrespecting one another. Because really, that's what's setting the premise for our communities. When you see these comments and you see the same content creators, oh, I ride for Tasha K in the comments. Okay, cool. Then you run over there to Joe Budden to see if Joe Budden said something so you can bring that information back to Tasha K. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. We promote more hatred for one another than any other race. Than any other race. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Now, I would love to have a conversation, a real in-depth conversation with Tasha K. And it wouldn't even be nothing about Cardi B. I'm going to tag her in this and see if she's willing to do it. And don't come charging me no goddamn for free, goddammit. Talking about black media. Shit. I'm just saying, it's one of those situations where it's like, man, let's get down to the nitty gritty and have some conversations that's really going to shake the room, but it doesn't have to disrespect a whole gender or a whole race of people. Because for some reason, we think the only way we can shake the room and turn up is if we have to disrespect someone. Black men should not have to stand on black women's back in order to feel like kings. Black women should not have to stand on black men's back in order to feel like queens. The black community shouldn't have to trip over each other and disrespect one another in order to feel like, hey, crabs in the barrel, but I'm the one on top of the barrel. We lose. Imagine if the president of the United States was saying, so let me get this straight. You're upset that I used the word boy, but you're not upset at Cynthia G calling men dusties. You're not upset at these other content creators calling black women all these other names. Y'all ain't mad at that, but y'all mad at me. Because I'm the old white guy. But the people that look like you, dress like you, and live in your communities, you have nothing to say about. Well, that's a little bit hypocritical, don't you think? That's a little bit disingenuous, don't you think? D. Smith says, ask Tasha, you can come on her app and you can have a conversation. She has done it before with male content. Well, here's the thing. You guys can feel free to reach out to Tasha K. Send her this video and let her hear what I got to say. If she feels that it's worthwhile, then hey, she know how to reach out. She had her whole production team, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The thing about it is it's about being balanced. It's about actually being fair. It's not about us going at each other because we're mad because somebody didn't do something that we wanted them to do. The thing about it, if people can see that you're heading down a road or you're heading in a direction that you shouldn't be going, if we have love, admiration, and respect for that person, we're going to say, hey, yo, hey, turn around. You're going the wrong way. Turn around. We're not going to say, keep driving. Mash the gas on that ass. Keep going. I'm going to give you a mash the gas on that ass conversation real quick. And I want you to hear the tone.
Including you. You fake. You fake. All talk, no backbone, and yo, now that's why I called you gay.
Okay. I believe so. I believe they want to see her crash out. Yeah, I believe that. Why is it that when black women get upset with black men, they call them gay? Like, why is that the ultimate insult? That it's the ultimate insult for some reason between black men and women. It's like you're gay. I don't get that. I don't get that. Yeah, she definitely was pissed. She was pissed. But I'm just saying that you got to think about this. You're mad because he didn't release an interview. Because in that interview, you felt like you was gonna get your licks back. I'm just saying, what is in it? I want somebody to ask me. I want somebody to answer this question. What is in that interview that you wanted to get out to the world that you can't do on your platform, that your own platform, where no one else is responsible for it but you? What could you possibly say to Joe Budden on his platform that you can't say on your own platform to get out to the world so that way you can shock the world and shake the room? So can anybody answer that for me? What can you possibly be saying? Okay, D. Smith said she called him gay in an interview and they talked about pegging. I don't know what pegging is, but answer this. Can you answer this for me, D. Smith? What could possibly be in that interview that is so monumental, so prevailing, so advantageous for her to say that she can't say on her own platform? Can anybody help me with that? I'm gonna play this while y'all waiting.
What, girl?
You loud. Oh, damn.
I wasn't expecting.
Hold on, shit.
Honey, not only did she go off on Joe Budden, but also, honey, let me fill y'all in. Now, before I tell y'all this tea, I'm going to need y'all to make sure y'all like, share, and it's getting kind of sweet. So, okay, let's go to it. So, Tasha K, she did an interview. You guys know she has a big show coming up. Congratulations on the show. And she's doing interviews. So she said that she was looking out for her black people. She wanted to be pro-black, okay?
And see, that's another thing. This is where I wanted to play this right here. Here's the thing, right? Why is it that the minute you fall out with Joe Budden, who's a black man, you then go do an interview with a white man to talk about the black man? Then, while you're talking about the black man, you talk about allegations against the black man that you knew before you did the interview, the allegations existed. Then you talked about him being gay. Now, whether you talked about it in the interview, et cetera, but what I'm saying is, why is it all black love until it's not? Why is it support the black kings and black media and black queens until it's not? Why is a simple disagreement always a major fallout in the black community? Why is it always a major sense of explosion and disrespect and slander and nonsense? Why can't we agree to disagree? Which is what I'm saying. Why can't we agree to disagree? Why can't I say I don't agree with how you handle that, Tasha K, but I still like some other aspects of you? Does that mean I hate black women? You know that I hate I hate the color of my skin. Like we do not do a good job at agreeing to disagree. We do not do that at all. That shit is crazy. D. Smith says Tasha talked about DJ Envy 8 lawsuits, and I heard DJ Envy was not happy about it. D. Smith, I don't know if you like. I don't know if this is something Tasha K said or what, but you got a lot of information about the interview. I'm just saying, to be like somebody in the comments. I don't know if you're a content creator or what, but all I'm saying is, obviously, it was some things said in that interview that, forget shaking the world up, the backlash for Tasha K would there have been backlash for Tasha K? Regardless of why Joe Budden didn't release the interview, do you think there would have been backlash for Tasha K? I do. I believe that. I believe that because whatever she did, and this is my point of view. She says, so do you. So do you. And here's my point of view. My point of view is that I'm saying based on your actions. I don't know what happened in the interview. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I only can take what Tasha K says and Joe Budden says and say, okay, somewhere in the middle is the truth. And the truth of the matter is that things were said that if it gets out, right, to the proper people, there may be backlash. I think that's an actual factual statement. I think that anybody looking at this, regardless if they are a content creator or somebody that supports the content creators, could look at it and say, well, if you feel that there's something you want to talk about, you don't necessarily need Joe Budden. She can literally go live right now and start talking about whatever she talked about inside the interview. But again, this is Tasha K's version of it. So now you got to ask, well, how much of this is true? How much of this is factual? So this is my point. If you lie to me one time, I'm going to question the next story that you give me. That's human nature. That's common sense. That's an educated response. If you get caught in a lie, an unnecessary lie, a lie that you're going to continuously run with, I'm going to look at the next story that you say and say, well, I don't know how much of this is true. There's a credibility issue. There's an integrity issue. So I'm speaking from a point where I'm making this assessment. I'm not saying she must have said something bad about Cardi B. I'm saying Joe Budden said whatever you said, I'm not airing. So you take an educated guess and you say, DJ Envy didn't sue her. His wife didn't sue her. Tyrese ain't sue her. Cardi B sued her. Cardi B sued her. And this is one thing that I haven't seen anybody say. Does she have a gag order? Is she allowed to talk about Cardi B, Offset, family music on her platform? From my understanding, she is not. From my understanding, she is not. Ralph says, I find it hard to keep, is that supposed to be track or attack in the mindset of destructive criticism? Hit the like button, y'all. Stop playing with me. Come on now. Because once you break this thing down, it's kind of like, okay, the dude is making some points here. Why would you go on an interview and not tell the interviewer, I'm not talking about Cardi B? Why wouldn't you make an announcement that I'm going on? So you mean to tell me that Tasha K would tell you, I went on Joe Budden's platform and we talked about pegging, but she won't tell you whether or not she talked about Cardi B. She won't tell you in advance. She said, hey, I am not talking about Cardi B, period, in no interview. Just seems weird to me. It's like you open yourself up to ridicule and criticism. And instead of making those statements, to me, Tasha K is very good at making bold statements and persuasive narratives. I know that I can't talk about Cardi B on my platform, but if I go do interviews on bigger platforms, if somebody asks me a question, well, it's free game. I don't think that's the truth. I don't think that's the truth. I don't think that's the truth. Joe Budden would burn more bridges by releasing a statement from a woman who's basically, I mean, we keep saying she didn't get in trouble for lying. Well, she got in trouble for something. And if you're just saying she only got in trouble for not taking those videos down, you mean the videos down saying that Cardi B had STDs? The videos talking about Offset cheating on his wife, getting caught? The videos with her drugging men? So she got in trouble for not taking those videos down that were the truth? D. Smith, let's stop you right there. Let's stop you right there. I would be a full idiot to tell you that I read the transcripts when just in my other video the other day I told you I didn't read no transcripts. But the issue is, here's the issue, and I don't know why people do this. I don't know why they do that. People that love Tasha K are going to support her to the fullest, right? Till the wheels fall off. The people that don't like Tasha K are going to be the ones getting the transcripts. So I want you to do this. I want you to go down your list of the people that don't like Tasha K that you know and see if they've ever put transcripts out. They've ever read the transcripts verbatim. That happened. I don't need a copy of the transcripts when you can see and listen back and hear the damn transcripts. Regardless of what she got in trouble for, the end result is you have to pay $4 million based on this woman. Well, if I have to pay $4 million, I don't want to talk about the woman no more. I'm done. I'm done talking about that woman. And I don't understand what the disconnect with what I'm saying is. There's no excuses to be made. I'm not doing no interviews. I'm not slinging no slugs. I'm not partially talking about her, sideways talking about her. I'm not doing that because I value my brand. I value my name. I value my family. I value how hard I worked to get here. So if you're saying in the comment section, we are encouraging her to move in another direction and not do risky things, great, good for you. I'm telling you that right now, she's on this verge of crashing out, trying to do things that she thinks no one can sit back. You don't think a judge would ask Tasha K, why would you go and do an interview and not tell the interviewer, I'm not talking about Tasha K? I don't know what part you said I know for a fact, but what I know for a fact is that you got sued, and whatever you did to Cardi B, you now have to pay $4 million. Is that a truthful factual statement? That's a factual statement. Whether you say, oh well, she only hit her in the face, right? She only cursed her out. She only didn't take the video. Whatever you did, the end result was $4 million that she was awarded. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll just be real with you. It don't matter what you did if you were found guilty. Everybody picking up what I'm putting down. It don't matter what you did. Oh, instead of taking the videos down in 2 weeks, she took it down in 3 weeks. Instead of saying she had a gonorrhea, she had herpes. Like, it don't matter. What matters is you were found guilty. So no amount of explanation is going to explain that away. No matter of I love Tasha K is going to explain that away. No matter of did you read the transcripts, it's going to explain that away. You want me to say verbatim, this is exactly why she was found guilty. I'm saying she was found guilty. Zero argument. Zero argument. She was found guilty. Now, if you had to, I'm going to sit down here and I'm going to read page by line. Well, here's the thing. If you're saying that she was never guilty of lying, I would tell you that I don't think that's true. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you, I don't think that's true. Because YouTube justice and being in a court of law is way different. I can get on here and I can talk to millions of people and tell them whatever it is I want to, right? Oh, it was only about this. And I can only point out these certain things. The fact of the matter is your ego should have never been bigger than actually somebody's livelihood. Wasn't worth it. And if they reached out to you to prevent a situation trying to settle out of court, what would say, we going to court about this? Where is that black pride? Is that black pride? Because all that does is tell me as a black man, well, is this really worth it? This is one of them situations where you pick your battles. Is this really worth it? Because at the end of the day, it's like, is it really worth it? Did anybody ask D. Smith? Did you ask Tasha K, was it worth it? If anybody was to ever ask Tasha K a direct question about the Cardi B situation, was it worth it? Mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, socially, spiritually, was it worth it? And no matter how you break it down and dissect it, everything keeps coming back, it wasn't. I totally agree with you, Texas T. Well, I never said that I frequently watch Tasha K. You know what? If something comes across my or something sent to me, hey, I'm gonna check it out or whatever case be. Like I seen the Remy Ma thing, I seen R. Kelly thing, I seen the Kevin Samuels thing, but I don't watch like all of the other things that she do or whatever case. But if it's big and it starts picking up a little steam, it's definitely gonna get sent to me, and I decide if I want to speak on it or not. And this is one of those situations too, because what you didn't say, D. Smith, you know what I'm saying? What you didn't say is that what she said to Joe Budden was wrong. And see, this is my problem when I talk to people and I feel like there's no balance in the conversation. So if we want to do this back and forth and we say, oh, this is fact and this is fact. Well, factually, you went off on a black man because he decided not to drop your interview, which was wrong. So if we can't agree to disagree on that, it's not even a disagree. Wrong is wrong and right is right. But see, this is what I said. We overlook what somebody that we should be holding accountable for. He got every right to say, I don't care if I talk to you for 18 hours. I don't feel like dropping this damn interview. But that don't mean he should be disrespected. Called out his name, called gay, like come on, but we respect it. We applaud it, and we'll still be back in her chat the next day talking about, yeah, girl, you go. What message do we send to our youth? What message do we send to our husbands and wives and our community that we support whatever? It don't matter. We want to jump on the president for calling LL a boy, but we will not jump on Tasha K for calling Joe Budden gay. You don't see the contradiction in that? We talking about transcripts and lawsuits and no, we talking about facts. Facts. There's no way you explain, oh, I was mad, so I called him gay. I was mad, so I called him fake. Damn, you get to do a lot when you mad. You get to do a hell of a lot when you mad. And for some reason, that makes it right. That makes it cool. That makes it okay. When we get to a point where it's not right and it's not okay, that's when we can hold other races responsible for saying boy. Salute. That's when we can get into together and say, hey, don't be doing that to us. But hell, we can't even tell each other, don't be doing that to us. Because we quickly turn the other cheek. D. Smith, you are proving my point. You are proving my point. It is okay for us to disrespect each other as black people, but it's not okay for a white man to say something to a black man. Okay, we'll ignore it to death. That's why BLM is steadily failing. That's why, because we're not proactive. Instead of promoting love and support and understanding for one another and holding ourselves accountable, we don't. And the second something happens, Frank, right? Kill Nene. Oh, hell no, right? But we ain't gonna say nothing about it. But let David come into our neighborhood and kill Nene. Oh, hell no. Police brutality. It's racism. It's at what point in time we really start caring? I get mad at a black woman, so I get online and I call her a bunch of names. And all of the hurt motherfuckers that's been hurt by black women cheer and root. They cheer and root. I've been hurt by a black man. So all of the hurt women that's been hurt by black men, get online and cheer and root. Cheer and root. And nobody thinks that's like, God damn, how come every time you got an issue with a black man or a black woman, your escape is to disrespect them online, to embarrass them online, to ruin them online? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you guys are thinking about that. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. So if you're a black woman sitting by, yeah, Tasha K, you do that, girl. You say that, no, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. And if you support that type of shit, you shouldn't be over here in my goddamn chat. You should not be over here in the chat because logically that shit looks ridiculous and stupid. I'm going to support what she did to Joe Budden. But when Joe Biden say something, oh, hell no. That hatred runs deep, and this is the thing that we have to teach our kids to combat. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the things that we have to teach our children to combat. People just like that think it's okay for your son or daughter to be called names because somebody else is mad. Okay for them to be exposed because somebody else is mad. Well, these people that's mad, you know what you find out a lot of times? They toxic, they narcissistic, they never really healed, they got emotional trauma and damage. And for some reason, these are the people we give the microphones to and say, speak to the people. We want to hear what you got to say. And they walking our ass right off cliffs. And even when you get somebody that says, hey, let's be balanced and fair about it. No, if you ain't got the transcripts, you don't know what happened. Bullshit. 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 I know it was wrong. God damn it, I know it was wrong. And this is what's so funny about some ignorant shit. This is some ignorant shit. White guy shoots black guy. We don't ask for no goddamn transcripts. White guy automatically wrong. Black dude got pulled over, cursed at the white guy, got out, started swinging, fighting the white guy. White guy defends himself, black man dies, and we don't ask for no goddamn transcripts. Automatically, it's, oh, obviously the white guy has to be wrong. Obviously, because God forbid if black people do wrong, but the same black guy is online bashing black women. It's funny when we want to talk about transcripts, as if we can't make good damn common sense judgment on the shit that's going on. You go from Joe Budden podcast to calling them gay and calling them other names. And I got somebody in my comments talking about, well, the transcript. Fuck the transcript. We don't need a transcript. How about calling the goddamn spade a spade and saying, you are wrong? And I do not support that. How about we stand on some real shit? How about we get to that? How about we do that? And this is not he's only saying that because it's a black woman against it. No, I'm saying it black people, period. The fuck shit needs to stop. It needs to stop. It's like you celebrate to see the destruction of black people, but then always talking about black power and the black dollar and the black community and how we need to digress from the white people and, oh, we waiting for reparations for what? So we can pay people to destroy the other black man on the other corner? You only excited about being black when it's time to destroy other black people. Now that's a sound bite for your ass. Don't just come in here and hit that like button. I ain't playing with y'all. You only excited about being black when it's time to destroy another black person. That's the only time we rally. It's the only time we rally. What she say? What she say? Oh, hell no. Come on, fellas. What he say? Come on, y'all. So afraid to take a stand and say, hey, that's wrong. But you will hop in the comments and try to say, I'm going to defend the person I like. Don't nobody give a shit if you're going to defend the person that you like. Nobody care. Don't nobody give a damn if they wrong. Because whatever we say on YouTube, this is so funny. Whatever we say on YouTube, you know what happened, y'all? You actually got to go into real life and face real life consequences. So all that shit we saying in the comments really don't matter, because when you go into real life and you got real life consequences, that shit affects you. I don't care how many smiles you put on and act like you're not affected. You affected. The people around you affected. But instead of us holding people accountable, saying like, look, hey, look, we don't have to be doing that. We don't have to be saying that about one another. Now, this ain't the type of message for you that's saying like, we don't have to disrespect each other. Leave. I don't mind. Leave. I'm dead ass serious. Because what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to ruin who I am to fit into a crowd. I'm not going to play follow the leader because you think the other person is cool or the other person is this and the third or whatever. No, wrong is wrong and right is right. And you sit back and you can, because here's the thing, I don't wear the group shades, right? I don't just go with the group narrative because everybody else want to do it. I sit back and assess shit for me. The problem is that people don't have shit in real life. Nothing going for them. So it's like, let me jump on this bandwagon where I feel like I can have a voice and I can X, Y, Z. You're defending people to the death. Jump your ass off the cliff too. Get your ass in the car and drive off the cliff too. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. That's what you want to do. But if you got somebody willing to tell you, bro, you speeding towards a cliff. It's a cliff down there. You about to crash out. You making excuses for shits that you see that is a fact. You're making excuses for bullshit. I'm sorry, you look at it however you want to look at it, but I'm dead damn serious about what I'm saying. You're making excuses for bullshit. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It wasn't necessary. There was no reason to do it. Oh, she mad. She just, no, it doesn't matter if she mad. Just like the president of the United States has to be responsible with their platform. Oh, I'm about to say some shit. Oh, I'm about to hurt some feelings. Just like the president of the United States has to be responsible for the platform that he has, the position and the status that he holds, so does Tasha K and every other content creator. But for you to say, I'm not going to hold you accountable because I like you. I'm not going to hold you accountable because I want to fit in. I'm not going to hold you accountable because you're a fellow black woman. I'm not going to hold you accountable because of this, that, and the third. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. And it lets me know the validity of your comments. It lets me know why you're here. I'm here to defend you. Defend Tasha K no matter what, by any means necessary. Well, suppose that was you, that Tasha K was putting that information about, and you reached out to her and say, hey, look, man, that shit ain't true, or that was my past. I would appreciate it if you take that stuff down or whatever. And then, you were being taunted. I ain't taking shit down. Come on, winos. I ain't doing shit. And D. Smith like, and then when shit hit the fan, now all of a sudden, instead of saying she was wrong, well, she was wrong, but she wasn't wrong for that. She was wrong. Period. She was wrong, period. God damn it. She didn't break the glass, she broke the cup. She broke something. God damn, what the fuck? Oh, we need to be politically correct. No, I don't need to be politically correct. She was wrong about something, got sued, $4 million lawsuit, judgment in the favor of Cardi B. That's a fact. That's a fact. I don't give a damn what transcripts say. But the thing about it is we jump out the window for celebrities or anybody we feel that is popular. But let me tell you something. These will be the same people that don't do community service, that don't help out in the church, that don't volunteer their time to Boys or Girl Scout of America. These are the same people that'll jump out the window. I'm defending her to the death. To the death. Same thing I felt about R. Kelly. To the death. Damn. You got people every day getting accused of crimes that they didn't commit, don't have money for lawyers, have to go with a public defender and getting time sent up the yin yang. But none of these people defending R. Kelly down in their local police stations and say, oh, let me help you. Let me get you some help. Let me go live and say, everybody get up in here. We got some conversation. Can you imagine if Tasha K used her platform to say, oh, these first-time defenders, what I'm going to do is, hey, let's do a GoFundMe for these guys so that way they can get some lawyers. Would that be a different conversation? Now the next thing is, won't you do it? Well, I do volunteer my time. Sometimes I talk about it, sometimes I don't. But the fact of the matter is, as your platform grows, now you have a responsibility almost to do more. I wouldn't expect that we would want to hear from Tasha K about Cardi B. 4 million reasons why we wouldn't want her to be talking about Cardi B, because it's a waste of her talent. It's a waste of her time. It's a waste of her family's time. It's a waste of her brand's time. She always talk about all the work she put in, all the work she went. Well, here's the thing. Why lose it? Keep on trying to jab at this lady. Why lose it? Come on, D. Smith. Why lose it? If your husband is saying don't do it, the people in your comments saying don't do it, you got people like me, don't do it. Go the other way. Then why do it? And you telling me it boils down to pride and ego? And you telling me that ain't the biggest crash out ever? Instead of telling me how wrong I am, go tell her, listen to you. Take a step back. Because these same people that's watching you do these things are going to be the same people laughing at you for real. If you think it's worth it, then you go ahead and do it. But there's a whole lot of things to look at, and Joe Budden just happened to look at some things. Now, I want to show you, I want you to hear a content creator speaking on this situation, right? I want you to hear this, and I want you to hear how it's almost like I'm cheering her on as she does this. I'm cheering her on. Instead of telling her, hey, Tasha, you're doing too much. That's wrong. Fall back. Come on, sis. And this is the reason why we have so much disdain and disconnect with each other, because there's always somebody out there to root you on when you're doing some crazy shit.
And she said, Joe Budden would be a great person for her to drop her exclusive interview, because she put Joe Budden on such a high pedestal, right? Right. So she did the interview with Joe Budden, but her enemy, Cardi B, she got into Joe Budden's ear, honey, and said, pick a side.
And see, this is another problem too, when you put out misinformation. And here's the issue. Where are the phone records with her contacting Joe Budden? Where's the emails? Where's the pictures, the videos, etc.? We automatically assume that it was Cardi B, as if Joe Budden, another celebrity, who was a celebrity before Cardi B, don't have lawyers, won't tell him, well, maybe that ain't a good look, because we got the transcripts. We can't release that. Hell, maybe he said, you know what, I don't really, after looking at it and listening to you guys, my lawyer, my legal team, maybe he said, I don't really want to mess up my relationship with another celebrity. with somebody I've already established a relationship with, working with, doing music with, chilling with, etc., 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 with another celebrity, not a YouTube celebrity, a real life celebrity. So we, as content creators, we come on here and say, well, Cardi B must have got to him. Cardi B must have paid them all. Jay-Z must have paid them all. And I'm like, well, the dude got a legal team. How come Tasha K can be advised by her legal team, but Joe Budden can't be advised? He must have got paid off. Okay, so we talking about goddamn transcripts and shit. Where's the payoff money? How much was it? Where's the Cash App at? Where's the Zales? Just saying shit. Anything to make Tasha K look better. When in all regard, if Tasha K wanted to do an interview, it should have had nothing to do with Cardi B. But we keep these falsehoods, these hopes of, well, she could go talk about them. Talk about her. It's okay if she just only talk about this or she only mention it. No, it's not. This is the craziest thing about, I'm telling you, us. It's like we seek validation in the darkest places. We seek admiration and a standing ovation in the darkest places. Like, there's nothing exciting about having to pay somebody $4 million. You lost. You lost. And here's what's so crazy about it is these people in the comment section that's defending this shit is acting like they share in the loss. You don't share in the loss. It's not your family, your brand, or your name, your company, organization that suffers for this. Now, the way she get her money back is now charging you that be in the comments to go see her face to face, and hopefully whatever she got going on, it brings her money. But what it goes to show you is that you don't hold people accountable, and people can get in your face and tell you anything because you're gullible. You're gullible. And half of these people don't like black men anyway. Half of them don't like black women anyway. So anytime you got somebody saying something against black men and women, guess who's present? Other black people. Other black people.
We ain't doing that. You're not going to be pushing her interview out. You pushing my ops interview out? Cardi B told Joe Budden, pick a damn side, girl. Okay? According to the spirits of the world.
Now this is the issue that I'm having right now. How do you know Cardi B told Joe Budden anything? You're lying on that lady. You don't know. But you understand, when you got these gossipers and tea and whatever you call them, right? And it's like, oh, let me say this and they keep that narrative going. They keep that narrative going. And this is another thing that can affect her, you know what I'm saying, affect the Tasha K's, because it's like you got these smaller bloggers listening to you say Joe Budden didn't put the narrative out because of Cardi B or because of Jay-Z and because X, Y, and Z. That is slander. That is lies. Especially when you don't have the proof. You understand what I'm saying? You see how the backlash comes on Tasha K, where you in the comments, you don't have to deal with it. She has to deal with it. She has to deal with her lawyer getting called saying, hey, look, that video you put up talking about Joe Budden this and Joe Budden that, making people either pointing a finger at another celebrity that may have stopped the interview. Is it worth it? When you could have literally went on there and talked about your upcoming shows and the direction of your platform and what you want to see in the near future. But you have content creators like this lady right here. She's pushing that narrative that you promoted in your video.
Now, Joe Budden ain't dropping Tasha K interview. No, honey. And she put out some bombshells in that interview. You know, she was very genuine in that interview, and she was gonna,
Can y'all tell me how is it that a regular blogger can say she was very genuine in the interview and she put out bombshells in the interview? How do you know what she said in the interview? How do you know she was very genuine in the interview? How do you know this? But you see, when you say people's picking sides instead of being fair and impartial. Now, is this a you prided yourself on promoting the fact that Tasha K went off on Joe Budden for not releasing an interview, but you never said that she was wrong for going off on him because he didn't release the interview. But in order to stay cool with Tasha K, you now say Tasha K she was fair, she was genuine in the interview. You wasn't there. You didn't hear the interview. You didn't hear the interview and you wasn't there. So how do you know she was fair and genuine in the interview? How do you know that what she said in the interview wasn't going to be more detrimental to her? And that he possibly was looking out for himself and possibly looking out for her? How do you know these things?
I mean, the stuff that she said in Joe Budden interview was going to shake the nation. She put out every...
You don't need Joe Budden's podcast to shake the nation. You don't need it. You don't need it. If it's legit, 100% factual, you don't need it. What is all these black women that say, I don't need no man? But now you need them? You don't need them. You got your own platform established. You can shake the world and shake the nation from your own platform unless it is something about Cardi B that you know for a fact you can't be on your platform talking about. So you would have found a way to encompass whatever you was going to use to shake the nation up and tell Joe Budden once he said anything about Cardi B, you was going to go in that direction. That's why I said people that got common sense, they can see the shit from a mile away. They can see it from a mile away. We almost out of here, y'all.
Everything, and it was none but truth. But Joe Budden, he called her, said, nah, he gonna have to comb through shit. He was gonna have to do this. Pretty much just pussyfooting around because Cardi B was in his ear, okay? So he didn't pick the side, and Tasha K, she feels like she's been betrayed. She feels like, hey, I'm trying to have this pro-black agenda for media, and look what happens. My own black brother then stabbed me in...
Listen, and this is, I'm going to be honest with you, I have such a disdain for social media. This person has 465,000 subscribers. 465,000 subscribers saying that she said nothing about Tasha K, what she did was wrong. Y'all don't think that shit weird? We talk about the gay agenda, we talk about racism, we talk about police brutality, but for some reason when it get to black on black, we be skipping and overlooking shit fast as hell. I want you to listen to what she said about her black sister getting done wrong by a black man. When all he did was say, all right, I'm not going to put out the interview right now. So he deserved to be disrespected. I want you to listen to what she says. She's speaking to 465K subscribers. A black woman talking about Tasha K and her actions and what she did to a black man. I want you to listen to this part.
She feels like, hey, I'm trying to have this pro-black agenda for media, and look what happens. My own black brother then stabbed me in the back for Cardi B, the BBL, the Latino BBL, honey. When I tell you these BBLs is killing y'all, okay? I'm joking.
Why is it okay for black people to talk about Latino people, talk about white people, but the second they say something about us, we're in an uproar? Why are we so irresponsible with our platform? Now, anybody that got a BBL, that's a problem too. So, black women running out getting BBLs, obviously, there's a content creator with 465K subscribers that has an issue with you. That's a black woman. It's crazy. But a letter black man would have said that. It would have been cancel culture on him. Correct? This woman is clearly 3 minutes into this conversation or this video. She's clearly in support of Tasha K. Sees nothing wrong with what Tasha K has done. And this is why I said we don't have anybody fair and impartial actually reporting information that we could get, and it doesn't have to be biased and altered. Everybody is trying to do clout chase the next person. And that's what's so sad about it. Thousands of people are tuning in to hear her say how a black man did Tasha K wrong. Not that Tasha K cursed him out because he wouldn't release an interview, but how he did her wrong. And this is what your sons and your husbands and your fathers and your nephews, this is what they have to go out into real life and deal with. This is what they got to go deal with. Unnecessary hatred, unnecessary disrespect, pushing a narrative that doesn't exist.
Shout out to all the BBLs. I don't got nothing against y'all. Okay, so anyway, also Adam 22, he felt some type of way about Joe Budden not dropping the interview, so he speaks as well.
Adam 22 is none of your damn business. Let me just be real with you, right? Because we play the black card when it's beneficial. Then when for some reason a black man does something to you or a black woman does to you, now we go get with a Caucasian person and then we say, oh, well, yeah, go ahead. So she feels that Adam 22 went at Joe Budden on her behalf. Now, I done heard this content creator call people crackers, Karens, and a whole bunch of other stuff. You go to Adam 22, and now he's supposed to go get on a black man on your behalf. Y'all don't see the psychology in that? Y'all don't see how crazy that shit sounds and looks? I get it. Hey, you know what I'm saying? It's gossip, but what it is it's interesting how when black people want other black people to ban against white people, that's the narrative. When black people don't get what they want, they go get another person of another nationality and race to go against a black man or a black woman. And in some type of way, we forget that just happened and they can just go back to being regular. It's just a regular conversation. This black woman that's speaking right now, she said, oh, Adam 22 spoke out. She didn't say, well, why does this white man have so much to say to Joe Budden? What does he have to do with it? Why is he so passionate about coming to Tasha K's rescue? It's a dynamic built for us to continue to go at one another and to continue to cripple our growth. And these are the type of things that I see on social media that, to be honest with you, is just disgusting. It's just nonsense. And then you wonder why your children are so wild or so headstrong and saying, you know what, y'all don't even get along. You can't tell me how to get along with somebody. Y'all don't even get along. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about these people that's like mid to upper 30s. Y'all don't even get along. Also, that way you can be cool with Tasha K. You won't correct her. You won't hold her accountable. Hey, y'all take it for what it is, man. This tough love. Until next time, y'all are dolled up. I appreciate everybody that stayed in the chat with me. Everybody that dropped a comment, I'll make sure that I read the comments or whatever. I'm telling you right now, find people that are fair and balanced. They're not trying to pull you into no race war. They're not trying to pull you into no gender war. You think for yourself and come up with your own perspective and narrative or whatever. Because I'm telling you right now, I can see clearly a lot of people in these comments, they are delusional. They are hurt. They are narcissists. They are toxic. They are so past far common sense. They ain't coming back. And you can see it in the comments like, why would somebody say that? That makes no sense. But these are the same people that are giving their hard-earned money to these people to spread these narratives that we need to promote hate for one another. And I'm telling you right now, there are content creators out here that don't promote hate. They promote fair and balanced conversation. Find you one. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell for notification. Until next time, God damn, adult up. Peace.